Hey everybody! On this episode of Gaming and Collecting, me and Alex are going to be talking about another episode in our Games That Shaped Us series, this time talking about the console version of Urbz Sims in the City. One of the weirdest Sims spin-offs, but it was a damn nostalgic game for us back in the day. But anyways, guys, on with the episode.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No. No, Patrick, horseradish is not an instrument either. My favorite, I still think that is the best SpongeBob episode ever.
Yeah, what was it called? Band Geeks? Is that
Band
what
Geeks.
it's called? Band Geeks, yeah.
Well, it's also the one time Squidward wins. Like, the one time he actually gets a win.
And, like, you feel good about it, too. You're like, yeah, Squidward deserved that win right there.
Then that fucking song that they should have played at the Super Bowl. Still mad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Didn't they only just, like, show, like, the clip and then it went to, like, a bad rap?
They showed a clip with brand new animation, started it, and then switched to some rap song. And it was, like, great.
Ooh, yeah.
And then NASCAR gave them the middle finger by making this really cool, like, Daytona 500 promo using the SpongeBob music.
Oh, like, use the do.
Yeah, they used Sweet Victory, but it was a promo for the Daytona 500, and all the footage was from like Daytona 500s from over the years. But they would jump scare SpongeBob in the background repeatedly throughout it. It is such a bizarre. It was a time capsule of 2018. That's all I will say.
This is off topic, but when did you become the collector of bullshit?
Oh yeah, that was from so
I just looked, I was like, when the fuck has that been there?
So hi everybody, this is Gaming Collecting. How you been? So the collector of bullshit thing for those. Yeah, we're doing a podcast. Yeah, for those, obviously there's no video for this one, so people won't know, but under my little name thing on StreamYards, it usually says GNC Podcast Studios. But a week ago we had done a thing for the Superpod Network, and I usually, whenever we do Superpod Network group things, my little like slogan thing I always put under my name is Collector of Bullshit.
And
was
it like this the last time we recorded, or
no, I added it literally right after we had recorded.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I like just missed it last week, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's that. So normally when we record Superpod things, we use a different our friend Aaron from the network, our boss. He usually uses Riverside, but his internet's been poopy lately, so he had asked one of us to do it, so I hosted it on StreamYard, so I had to make a whole setup for it and everything. But yeah, that's why it says Collector of Bullshit. I'm just gonna leave that there now.
All right.
It's actually funny when I did that guest appearance on shout out to Dr. Retro Gamer. He's a podcaster on YouTube who does like interviews with collectors. I guest appeared on his episode.
I remember seeing that.
When I first hopped into the room because he was using Riverside, I had forgotten that I had left Collector of Bullshit in the thing. So like we started talking, and I looked down. I'm like, oh shit, I should probably change that, shouldn't I? He's like, yeah, if you could.
Oh, that's funny.
I think my name also said like Yukiko Stan next to it as a joke from a previous thing we had recorded. Yeah, it was funny.
Nice.
But yeah, how you been?
I've been good. It's been my second week at my new job, and I'm really liking it. It's pretty cool. Still a lot for me to learn, and I'm bouncing between two facilities, so I'm like having to double learn. But it's been really good. I've been much happier. I definitely feel so much less stressed. I've been sleeping better. I just feel better. Like,
good.
It's like crazy what like getting into a rut can just really bring you down. So I've been doing a lot better, which I'm really glad about. How about you? How are you doing?
Oh, I am sore and tired because I've been I'm actually busy at work right now, and I've been doing this one job, which is like I have to tap a whole bunch of holes, but they're like really big holes.
Yep.
For those who don't know, tapping a hole is I'm putting the threads on the inside of a hole. It's a process where you have to do it by hand. And I've been doing this for I'm going to be going on my 4th day straight doing this. And thank God they don't really time us on anything. So I've been just kind of taking my time. But like today, by like the midway point, I was like, I am fucking beat. Like I was so tired. And I was like, oh, I still have like 12 of these things to do. Yeah.
Almost done? Or
yeah, I've got like 3 more to do in the morning, and then I should be done. Then I can move on to the next step of the operation because I'm not even like halfway done with this job. But
oh wow,
that's fine.
It's just no. Sometimes it's just they can be really intense, you know.
Well, normally we do them in sets, and a set is usually like 8 at most.
Yep.
This time they dropped off 3 sets, and I was like, okay, I'll be doing this for a while. So
that sucks.
Yeah, it's work.
Well,
I look busy and they stay off my back, so
that's all that matters. If you look busy and they leave you alone, you go home, you get paid. It's all that matters in the end.
Yeah. Oh,
have you been playing any?
Playing anything? Not. So I've been playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Okay.
On the Saturn a little bit for a project we might be doing on 3DO at some point in the future.
Oh yeah, because you're running out of content.
no, we're not actually. We still got a shitload of 3DO stuff to cover. So shout out to our show 3D Owned, which is our new spin-off series that me and 3D Owned. Shout out to Tony for coming out with that name.
Thracklemore.
Thrackinator.
Thracklemore.
Anyways, yeah, we think basically the reason that show started is because we wanted to do some other games that
that shaped you.
No, that's for this show. Basically, it was so we could cover games without.
Sure, you just want to cancel this show, don't you?
No, the reason we're doing it on 3DO is so we don't do an episode of GNC without you, because it's a game that you wouldn't want to cover. Or in the previous one's case, it was because we've already talked about it on GNC.
I see how it is. I was trying to cancel the show. Yay! No.
That's what I'm right now.
What? What did you just say?
Anyways.
What did you just
say? How have you been otherwise? You've been watching anything? I know you had Trauma over the week.
What?
You've been watching Trauma this week.
Yeah, I watched. Well, it stinks because I went from watching like a very like silly concept show to some. What was that? Did you open the drink? It scared me. It was so loud into the mic. We'll discuss this after. Well, I watched well, first I watched Backstreet Girls Goku Dolls, which was a time. That plot...
you sent me that fucking plot synopsis, and I just went, "That's sure something."
That was probably some of the funniest shit I've watched in a while, just because of how fucking stupid it was. Like they barely animated it either, but it was
that's what I've heard.
The concept is just so funny; it was worth it.
That's a show that would never work back in the day. Back in the day, that would have never got dubbed.
Look up the concept and you'll understand. It's a time. It's very much worth it. It's only like 10 episodes, so it's like quick.
See, my favorite part is you sent me that, and I read. Well, what's funny is you sent me the live action movie first, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then I was like,
"Yeah, oh. I didn't realize what I sent at first." And then
I found it, and I was like, I was reading the summary, and I just went. It was like an eyebrow raise, and I was like, "That's a thing." I was like, "I'm like that sure is something."
Yep, it was pretty funny. Worth the watch. And then I watched. I'm gonna butcher how to say this, but Therme Rome Nove, I believe is what it's called. And this one was actually really fun. The plot was really silly. But it's set in ancient Rome, where basically like where bathhouse were like a really big thing at the time, because obviously not everyone just had running water in their house, so people went to bathe at a public bathhouse. So they had like this, I can't remember the term, but these architects that basically specialize in bathhouses, and it's all centered around this guy who is an artist, a batho architect, and he basically is gonna get fired because he can't come up with anything new, and he gets sent to Japan through the bathtub. He gets sent to Japan in a different time.
Is this the
So
Mario
he
Brothers
gets
Super Show? Like,
maybe, but not really. And then as he goes to Japan, he like takes their ideas and incorporates them into his time period in ancient Rome. But it's interesting because like he doesn't always go back to the same exact point in time, and he discovers different parts, like different aspects of bathhouses in Japan, which was really interesting. Because at the end of each clip, at the end of each episode, there's actually an educational portion where kind of educational. It's going over like the history of the bathhouses and like what concept they actually go and see an actual physical concept that was put into the show with the actual mangaka.
Oh yeah, I think my reaction was like, this sounds like a PBS show.
No, yeah, with the actual mangaka who's leading around. So it is like you have to read the subs, but it was actually really interesting because they actually go to the places where she was inspired of, and she actually for each one shows a drawing based off of where she went as well from the manga, which was really cool. It was honestly
that reminds me of you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of fucking Arthur, like where like they'd have the cartoon and then they'd randomly have the live action segment where they'd learn where you learn afterwards. And I don't expect it's so random.
It kind of is, but honestly, like it was a really enjoyable show. Like it not like it was going anywhere crazy, but it's just kind of fun to do watch a refreshing watch. There's a lot of man ass though, so just be prepared because it's men in bathhouses. But you know, it was a good time. But it was yeah, kind of, but also not at the same time because like sometimes like they weren't afraid to draw some people ugly. We'll just go with that. Like the main character though, whenever he goes back to when he goes to Japan, they're all like, "Oh my god, look at that handsome man." Like because he's like looks like a Greek like almost like a Greek statue because that's what they're kind of basing it off of. So
yeah,
it was funny. But then I like decided to hate myself and watch Japan Sinks 2020, which I just watched it because I was like, I picked it and I was like, oh, like this might be interesting.
mm-hmm.
And I was telling Bill before we started recording, I haven't like audibly gasped while watching like an anime probably since Attack on Titan, where it was just like, bah, like what? Like did that just happen?
And that's one of the shots, and oh my,
yeah. And I mean, similar to Attack on Titan, no one was safe. Like literally, no one was safe, and it was just really depressing. So I mean, like, watch it. It wasn't like it was bad, but like I didn't enjoy it either because it just kind of made me sad.
Oh, so it was like, well,
it was like, well, we're gonna talk about in the next episode.
I won't say dislike, but it was like me watching Attack on Titan where I was like, I don't know what to think of the show.
Well, the thing is too is like unlike Attack on Titan, which is like several seasons long and the story is well written and like, you know, fully thought out, this was crammed into like I think 10 or 12 episodes. So you're putting all of this, you're giving us all the though I will say they did at least like make you attached to most of the characters before
to make it even more heart-wrenching.
Yeah, which I think is like frustrating about it. Like but like there was
Jujutsu Kaisen method, yes.
There was some where I was like, I don't really care. But there was definitely some where I was like, oh fuck. Like and then like just the other stuff. The ending was at least the ending was a little happy, but yeah, it I was like watching. I was like, God, fucking damn it! This is the one I signed up for. So
it's one of those ones that you're going to be thinking about for months.
No, yeah, honestly, like it. Oh, like it's all right. Spoiler warning. I know you're not going to watch this, so do you care?
No, not really.
All right. Well, spoiler warning. Skip ahead if you don't want to be spoiled what happens. So, like, they start leaving. Like, basically, they're trying to escape to a different part of Japan because where they are, it's like a typhoon is about to hit, so they're trying to get inland because Japan is literally sinking. Like it had an earthquake and it's literally fucking sinking. So they're trying to get in. They kind of leave in a big group, but then the group kind of splits off and centered around the main group of characters, which are mostly centered around older sister who's a teenager and a younger brother, and then their kind of family unit. So they're traveling, and they started like looking for food at one point. And the father is digging in the ground to look for yams, like sweet potatoes. And they don't look at where they're fucking digging, and guess where they're fucking digging?
Graveyard.
Nope, a minefield.
Oh.
So guess what happens?
They go.
Guess
boom.
what? Yeah, they notice the sign as the father's digging, and I audibly gasped when it went off, and you just see a hand fly away and fall in front. I think it falls in front of the little brother or the mother, and it's just I was just like, huh? Where it's this kind of show?
I thought it was going to be like, we're digging in a graveyard. Oh, no.
No, they're digging in a minefield, and the father, who was basically leading the charge, and basically, like, the mom and the father are, like, the two kind of keeping everyone together, keeping everyone grounded and kind of happy-go-lucky in the situation. And then, boom, he's dead. Like, fucking explodes, and all they got is a hand of him, and, like, the daughter
I just had a really dark memory.
What?
So do you remember that fad of like putting the Benny Hill theme over like any like things to make them funny?
Yes.
Do you remember the one that it was like that British like PSA about minefields in like, and it was like a soccer during a girls' soccer match, and someone edited the Benny Hill theme over it. I was like, this is one of those things that's really fucked up, but you can't help but laugh.
Oh my god.
I don't know why that just popped into my head.
No, it's like similar. I mean, this one, like, he was like, there was no escape. Like, he was in a hole in the ground, like when he hit the bomb. And you see the realization. I was like, this fucked me up. And then, like, everyone just keeps dying. Like, there's another girl, and like, because like Japan has changed so much just with like it sinking, like the geography changed. There was like a bunch of gases that were coming, like basically poison gases that were coming from the earth. They went to go pee, fucking dead. She just dies from the gas instantly. Great. She dies. Then the mom dies because she has like a heart, what's it called?
Pacemaker.
Yeah, a pacemaker. And she can't charge it because there's no power. So she goes and saves the kids they find a boat at one point, and they're trying to get away because the island's basically fucking over. Mount Fuji erupted. Like, a couple other people died in between this too, but they weren't as important. The mom was more important, but she like goes and swims to free the boat, and then just fucking has a heart attack and dies. And I'm just like, fuck you. So it's just her and the kid, and then another guy dies, and then the girl was like a track star, and she got a cut at the beginning of the movie, and then her leg has to be amputated because she never treated it the whole time. I was like, well, fuck you. Like, this movie sucks. Like, no, it wasn't a movie, it was a show. Wasn't that sucked? It was just like, are you fucking kidding me? More trauma each time? Like, ugh. All right, rant is over. Rant is over. I mean, like, I would say, like, it was very well made and very well animated and well voice acted. Like, everything else was great, but I just didn't want the trauma.
Yay!
Over.
It's like me when I was a child and saw Perfect Blue for the first time.
Yeah.
I love that movie now, but at the time I was like, what?
I think looking back on it, I can agree that it was very well done and is good, but I'm not happy about it. Bill, what was that in your hand? You know what's been really funny? So now that I'm back at work, I've been going back and listening to all the podcasts. And my favorite thing, listening to it again and again, is just you going, every time we do this.
Yeah.
Is the music playing?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, I can't hear it.
Oh, well. Oh, that's why you didn't react to the carnival music earlier. Okay.
I can't fucking hear it.
Okay. Yeah, when you were all like, "What'd you fucking say?" I had made a joke about the what that's going on in your head, and you didn't hear it, so that's why you were freaking out for no reason. Yeah. But I'm drinking the same thing I drink every week, one of these sparkling ice things. This one is tea and lemonade flavored.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, I grabbed it. I was like, sure, why not? It's made with real tea. That's my fact.
Thank you. That was a good fact. On a scale of 20 Shreks in a swamp out of 30 donkeys in an outhouse, what would you rate it?
5 freakish dragon donkey hybrids.
Is that good?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
It's okay though. It tastes like tea.
All right. I'm gonna try that because I love me some tea. Are you gonna ask me what I'm drinking?
What are you drinking, ma'am?
I am drinking a Snapple.
Are you gonna complain about the cap again?
No, no, that was only the mini bottles. This is a regular size bottle. I am drinking a Snapple. Kiwi strawberry.
I hate
Zero sugar. Strawberry. Zero sugar beverage. I like it. It's actually pretty good. I actually will say the whatever sugar substitute works better with this flavor than apple. Apple ones were funky. I wouldn't recommend those. But this one, I recommend. It's actually not too bad.
For a second, you said the Abo ones were funky. I'm like, okay, sure.
Apple. Yeah, I'll give you some facts because it's my favorite part. I'll have as many as I fucking want, Bill. This is my show.
I could change the music at any moment and she wouldn't notice.
I know I won't. It's 10 calories.
It's 1.
There's 0 fat, 50 milligrams of sodium, 0 carbs, 0 protein, 120 milligrams of potassium. What else? Flavored water, citric, aspartame. There's not many facts. Oh wait, can I say what's on the inside of the cap though?
Fine, but that's it. Is it nothing?
No. Beavers have orange teeth. I was okay with not knowing that.
It's better than an echidna fact, so.
True.
You knew where I was going with that one.
Yeah, I did. Knuckles.
Anyways, so
thanks so much for watching the Gaming and Collecting podcast.
Wrong.
The Gaming and Collecting podcast.
Wrong.
I win. Oh, wait, you unmuted me.
So
that's also one thing about going back and listening to them is how many times you mute me because I do that often.
Anyways, so for this episode, we are talking about another game that shaped us. It is
we aren't.
It is a game that Alex wanted to play a lot of back in the day.
Yeah, and Bill never let me because he hogged the PlayStation all the time.
Well, also because save data on those memory cards, because we're talking about a Sims game that was on the PlayStation 2, and fun fact about saving a Sims game on a PlayStation 2 memory card, they took up like a quarter of the fucking memory card.
Yes.
And it was like, I can't have another save. But yeah, that, and to be fair, at the time, this game was interesting. So we're talking about the Urbz Sims in the City, not the DS version, which we've gone on multiple times in the past. We're talking about the console version featuring the Black Eyed Peas. You have to mention that because it's explicably stated on the cover. So this game was one of the many console versions of The Sims. And the console versions of The Sims were always interesting because they always had like this weird tendency to try and think of something different to do that would keep the series interesting.
Yeah.
Also,
I feel like too, probably also because it's hard to duplicate the full package of the Sims PC game onto a PlayStation, so they had to change it a little bit in order to make it playable. Because realistically, if they had tried to make like the whole regular Sims on that, you would have probably had to use a full memory card just to play it.
It also wouldn't have run because let's face it, we wouldn't get a full true port until The Sims 4 on PS4 and Xbox One. So
yeah.
But so Sims, no, not Sims, Urbz Sims in the City. This is such a mid-2000s fucking game.
Yes. I mean, the fact that the Black Eyed Peas were a big selling factor adds to the time this came out.
They were I don't want to say a selling point, but they were definitely a interesting oddity. To say the least, because I'm not gonna lie, when I played this game, I got this game because I really like the DS version. Which fun fact, they're not similar at all.
No.
The DS version is a fucking action adventure game. Well, an adventure almost RPG. This is a very peculiar, watered down version of The Sims.
Yes.
It is very similar. So apparently Maxis made this game. I'm not sure what part of Maxis, but supposedly they made this.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, anyways. So it's very similar in vein to the previous Sims 1 and Sims Bustin' Out on PlayStation as well. These were also on like Xbox and I think GameCube. And they, for the most part, would try to replicate the Sims gameplay, but of course it was heavily watered down and truncated. Yes. And usually they would try to have like a story or like some sort of background thing that you could follow just to condense it and make it like a game. And in the Urbz, the whole plot was essentially you're moving into the city and you kind of like get to hop from penthouse to like apartments and stuff, and you can visit all these different districts, and you want to like get your rep points up so you can become like popular in certain districts, and then you unlock other districts by befriending people from said districts, and every district has their own unique style. And like it was very much very mid-2000s.
Also, it was very much based on kind of like, I mean, hence the title, the Urbz. It was kind of based on a lot of like urban style choices. You can definitely see that the character designs are much more stylized in this game versus your traditional Sims. I mean, even just looking at the cover art, like these aren't your typical Sims, right? Like these are more like eccentrically designed characters. I think we can all agree. Which were more just going towards the urban kind of fashion trends.
Also, the best part about this game by far, the fucking soundtrack has a ton of Black Eyed Peas songs, but they're redone in Simlish.
Yes. I just love the fact
that yeah, it's the greatest fucking shit. It is so stupid, but I love it.
I just love the fact that they went in the studio and recorded all that. Like that's just so great. And then I love too that like so some of the like places, so there was the Skyline Beach, the Gasoline Row, Central Station, Kicktail Park, the Foundry, Neon East. I didn't realize how many places there were. Cosmo Street, Diamond Heights, and South Side Bridge. And in each location, there was about 1, 2, 3, 4. There was 5. I think there's always 5 characters that you could interact with that were kind of in that social group. What did they call them? Like, were they called cliques?
I think they were called rep groups.
Rep groups. But Cosmo Street, that's where the Black Eyed Peas were, and your job boss was Will.i.am himself. Which is so, I love how you can click on like Fergie has her own character page on the Sims wiki.
Yeah. And one of the gimmicks too in each area was not only did you have like rep points, so it wasn't like in the handheld version where you were permanently like shoehorned into a group. This one you could just kind of go from place to place. And one of the things you would do is you would have to build up enough rep points to get an invite to the secret club.
Yes. Each one had a secret clubhouse room.
Yes. But even just getting enough points to go to the secret clubhouse, you would also have to look the part, because you could get the invite and then you'd go to the bouncer and the bouncer would be like, you're not getting in look like that.
Yeah. Like the I always remember it, the like Diamond Heights. Like that one was the fancy one. So if you showed up wearing like streetwear to Diamond Heights, yeah, or biker gear,
I would do that.
Or even like the neon. Like I think there was one where they dressed up in like, which I think was a play on some actual
the neon the Neon District was very much like the traditional like Asian style like district.
Yeah, well, it's like a certain style in it's a Harajuku fashion. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it is a very distinct fashion. So, which was interesting that it was kind of pulling some of these different concepts too, from different cultures and stuff, which was neat. But Diamond Heights was like the rich people. So if you showed up, anywhere else, like they wouldn't let you in. But it same applied if you showed up in the fancy outfit too, like I think Gasoline Row was the biker place.
Yep.
Like they were not letting you in there either. So you actually had to be pretty creative in order to, actually unlock these places and make those connections.
The fun part is though, like once you got to a certain like rep like popularity, I think once you maxed out all of them, you could just go wherever. Like they wouldn't be able, because I would always by that point I'd just be like in the fucking fancy place in the biker gear and be like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do about it, huh? I don't know.
Well, because one of the things you would do in each area is you'd want to meet the most popular guy in the city was the character named Darius.
Yes.
Who's also in the handheld game.
Yes.
But he is a completely different character in this. And basically his plot here is that he is the most popular guy ever. And the only place you could ever run into him was in the special clubhouse in each area.
Yep. Because he was special.
So what you would do is you'd have to get there and then you'd have to like chat it up with him and he'd give you a piece of this machine that he had. And you'd basically have to collect a piece from each of the districts. And as you're going through this and building up the thing, you also have your main hub where you can like obviously do your sim stuff, like build your house, like furniture and everything, which starts off as this little shitty apartment. Then you get a slightly bigger apartment. And then eventually, once you max everything, you get Darius's penthouse, which is just this massive area where you can just do whatever.
You know what was my favorite character model in the Urbz?
Which one?
The bouncers.
I love the bouncers.
Do you remember the bouncers? Like they're just like these. They look so out of place with all the other characters in this game. Like their model just looks so fucking stupid compared to everything else.
There was also like the typical like punk character, like they would kind of wander from area to area, and they would basically just cause trouble wherever they went.
Well, I didn't realize there was villains in this game because there was Kiki Blunt, Orango McBain, and Harry Snivel.
Yeah, and they looked like
there was villains.
they looked exactly people. They looked exactly what you'd expect a mid 2000s like bully character to look like. Like they'd fit in perfectly in the subway with all the punk characters. Let's just say.
Yes. Well, no, just two of them. The girl and Orangu do, but Harry Snivel kind of looks like a type, like kind of looks like Shaggy with the hat.
Scoop. Yeah.
If
But
Shaggy had a villainous brother, that's who he is.
Yeah. I always remember though.
Was Bobo a monkey?
Maybe. I don't really know.
It's a guy with a strainer on his head.
Oh, good for him.
Did you ever run into Bobo?
Probably. Yeah. There was also like little mini games that you could play in each area. Like I know in like the Gasoline Row, you could grill hot dogs. Because bikers like hot dogs.
Woo! Well, because that was they do. There's a biker bar near us.
Yeah.
And I looked. I didn't realize it was one because the name is slightly misleading. I guess it's not if you're local, but you would read the name and be like, oh, that might be a nice place to go. And then no, it's a biker bar and they only sell hot dogs. Anyways, off topic.
Yeah. Yeah, you could make grill hot dogs because you'd have to grill hot dogs for to feed all the bikers, and then you could also like strip down like bikes, like tear off all the stuff for parts. Mm-hmm. And my favorite thing you could do in the bike district is there was this line of bikes and you could admire them. You don't want to admire them because that will knock them all over, and then you'll get the shit kicked out of you by all the bikers. Or you can do it on purpose and then fight back, depending on how your sim was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, your herb.
Or yes, they aren't Sims. They're
So you know
Urbz.
what? One of my favorite parts about this game was
What?
you could play multiplayer.
Oh yeah, because that's how we
And
played.
yeah, and the thing about multiplayer was it was interesting because you'd share a screen, but it would still go split screen. And this was the early style Sims on consoles where like rather than letting you just control your Sim directly, you'd have to like use that little pointer thing, kind of like a mouse, but not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I always remember because like the way it would work when in multiplayer was because you shared a screen, if you say went to go change your outfit, you would go when you go to like say the clothes place, it would go to a different screen to let you change like clothes and stuff. The
Mm-hmm.
problem was in multiplayer, you'd have to take turns. So you'd be changing clothes, and
Oh.
player 2 or 1 would be sitting there like, hurry the fuck up. Like, come on.
Hurry up!
And
Change! Yep.
and you would always have to go through every option imaginable.
I like to have my Sims looking great, Bill.
Which is hilarious because
Don't.
nowadays you'd probably be. I'm pretty sure I still have that saved. I'm pretty sure we could see your wonderful creation.
I don't want to see that. I'm good with not seeing that.
I just thought you'd probably be like, "Ew, what was wrong with me?"
Yes. I'm trying to remember what were some of the other games. I'm trying to remember.
I know the the skate park. It was like a skateboarding one.
Did every area have a game, or was it only some?
Everyone did because I know in Neon Heights it was like a runway. I would always do the runway in my full biker gear because you can. Yeah, there's the goofy stuff like that. I know there was one that was like it was like a rooftop setting, and it was like there was like boards going across the rooftops. I'm like, that's safe.
It's fine.
I just remember this game being super stylized. Like I think the in the Neon District, like it was like a weird like video game thing that you could do.
Well, it's funny, like looking at the wiki, they have a lot of the concept arts, and you can tell they really had fun with this game. Like in terms of the designs and stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to see if it says they were inspired by like Harajuku fashion. I feel like it definitely was, even if they don't say it. But it is interesting. Like you should really like take a look at let me see, I'll click on Diamond Heights. Because if you scroll to the bottom, if you're on like the Sims wiki page, they'll have the concept all there.
Oh, so fun
Which
fact.
These are very stylized.
Fun fact: there actually is a very small connection between the console game and the handheld game.
Oh, there is.
At the end of the game, once because this game takes place in Sim City, supposedly, at the end of the game, once you unlock Darius's penthouse, he actually leaves in his personal blimp to travel to Minneapolis, which is the setting of the handheld game.
Yep.
So there's a very slight nod there because you do meet Darius pretty early in the game as well.
Yeah. That is funny how they're connected. Is there any information about why the Black Eyed Peas like were in, and also was there versions without the Black Eyed Peas in it?
So it's unclear. I don't believe so. Because every version I've ever seen has the Black Eyed Peas on the cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm looking through some of the development. Apparently, the Black Eyed Peas were always
they were just on board. They're like, yeah, let's do it.
So apparently, according to the development notes, they wanted to get the game more publicity. So EA had actually reached out to the Black Eyed Peas. Because they were pretty big in the mainstream at the time. Because it was right after they got Fergie in the band, and they released El Funk, I think is the name of the album.
I think it's the one with the
So they ended up recording the majority of the soundtrack, including Simlish versions of the song "Shut Up" and "Let's Get It Started." "Let's Get It Started" is the one that I always think of, just because it's so
iconic.
It works too well in Simlish for some reason.
Sometimes I kind of feel like it sounded better in Simlish.
Yeah, it's right here, right. Like what the. Interestingly enough, too, this game got surprisingly better reviews than I thought it would. Because I thought, from what I remember, these games were not always well received, the console ports, but this one got mostly 70s, like 8s and 7s.
Huh.
The DS version has the lowest, which is bullshit, because that game's fucking great. But
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Well, because at the time they were like, they did a stupid handheld port that's not even a Sims game, and I'm like, yeah, that's why it's cool. Yeah. Other than that, though, it's an interesting footnote in Sims lore these days, because apparently they were supposed to be like the Urbz was supposed to be like a running series.
And it only had 2 games, right?
Technically 1, if you count the handheld version as just a version of the original.
Yeah.
There were plans for an Urbz 2, but they were scrapped. Probably because this game didn't sell particularly well.
Oh, it didn't? Well, that is one thing I will say is like I'm kind of surprised Mom got this for us based on the cover art, because
No, she didn't.
okay.
She got us the handheld version, and then I wanted this version later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because looking at, but I definitely could say just looking at the cover art. I mean, I know now we're a little more progressive, but when this came out, girl in like it's a more revealing outfit compared to some of your Sims. I mean, the whole stomach showing.
Oh yeah, this was the lowrider era.
Yeah, no, this was low-rise jeans, and then like the guy covered in tattoos at the time. Like, now it's a lot more like so acceptable. People with tattoos can like work, but there was a time where like if someone had tattoos, they might not get a job. Now it's a lot more like chill.
In some cases,
no, in some yes, in some they still might ask you to cover it up, but like you still might have a chance. Like at this time, like this probably wasn't the most kid friendly looking game. Because honestly, if it didn't say the Urbz or Sims on it, I'd almost kind of think it was like a Grand Theft Auto game, just looking at the cover art. Like, I wouldn't necessarily associate it with the Sims, which I feel like is probably what happened too, which didn't help with the sales.
So
they should have made the Sims bigger.
Yeah, what's also kind of fun? Apparently, the soundtrack for this game was released digitally on Last.fm. If that still exists, I have no idea if it does or not. But apparently, because of conflicts with A&M Records, all the Black Eyed Peas songs are removed. So there's like, it's like at that point, who cares?
Yeah.
You can find them on YouTube if you're really curious. But apparently, EA wanted to release a physical soundtrack, but it was canceled because the game did not sell well.
Oh.
Like, this game sold worse than the Sims 1 version, Sims Busting Out, even the later Sims 2 console version. Like, it was just a weird.
Really?
No. Yeah, it's probably because of the fact that the Sims is very not prominent.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, if you are just looking at, I feel like they should have added, even if they had added the diamond, like the green diamond, I feel like it would have helped to identify that, oh, that's a Sims game. I recognize that icon. I feel like it was probably just some poor marketing choices. I see, I was scrolling through pictures and there was a cover art. It looked like it was of a different, like a Japanese cover art, which looks so different. I don't know if this is it, but it still does not look like a Sims game. But
I'm not sure this game even came out in Japan. So
this is iToy.
Oh yeah, the iToy. The iToy. We have to talk about that.
Okay, good thing I brought this up.
There was an iToy integration. It wasn't prominently displayed on the cover like the Sims 2 version game was, but you could use your iToy, and it was the dumbest integration ever. You could take photographs with that shitty ass webcam of yourself and put yourself in the game. And we
really?
Yeah, and me and you did this, and it was bad.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. Like, stuck your tongue out, and we're like, yeah. It was bad. I wonder if those are still saved on that memory. I gotta
God, you gotta delete that. You gotta break that memory card and get rid of it.
No, those things are fucking expensive. I do that.
Also, another thing I wanted to comment on is I'm just looking at the like the Sim Builder screen, and why the fuck did they give the men Popeye arms?
Because jacked.
But it's like opposite, where it's not big up here, and you just have a giant like forearm.
Because the Sims aren't realistic. They wouldn't become realistic till Sims 3.
Yeah. It just looks so silly.
You know what the best was too, though? I think you could put your face on clothes like the Sims could wear, so you could just have a fucking shirt with your face on it. Because be that much
terrible.
Of a fucking nihilist, or not nihilist, egotist or whatever.
That's awful. I do remember like one thing that was kind of fun about the character design screen was they also made that style like very stylistic as well. So like when you were choosing like clothes and like choosing the different colors, they almost had it look kind of like a mosaic of different colors, which might have been confusing in hindsight of just picking the colors, but it looks nice when I look at the images.
See, when I think of another thing I always think about this game too is like the way you would get skill points was the worst thing ever.
Oh, I can't remember how. How did you get skill points?
There was only 3 things. There was creativity, body, and logic, I think.
Yeah, I think logic.
And you would have to buy these 3 specific items from the store. And fun fact, the things were so fucking big, they generally would not fit in your fucking house. So it was very hard to train. But I always remember these things because the way you would train up skills is it wasn't like a mini game. It was just mash the fucking X or square, whatever button it was. And it was a button masher. And it sucked. And I remember seeing that and being like, fuck this. And I got a turbo controller and said, no. And just
you were like, yep.
I think there's cheats that you could do because I'm pretty sure I used to cheat to get through a lot of the stuff.
Was it like using like the game? Didn't you have like Game Shark?
No, I think there was actually built-in cheats for these games, and you have to like hit a code on the menu. I know Sims 2 definitely had that. But yeah, I think I did that just to like not have to. It was probably like debugging cheats they just left in there. But yeah, I always did that because fuck doing that.
Another thing we didn't mention is like the main menu, like as you played the game and like you picked things, was your phone.
Yeah, very 2000s.
And it was very much not an iPhone. It was very much a phone of the period too.
This is kind of related, but not to the game. I was on Reddit yesterday and I saw it was the subreddit Damn That's Interesting. It was just a video compilation of just all the different cameras on old cell phones and how like the weird fucking ways that you would used to have to do shit with your phone to get the camera out. And I was just like watching it. I'm like, this is fucking fascinating.
You're like, huh, time has really changed.
Like my favorite one is like one had this like little probe that would like pop out the side of like, there's your camera.
Wee woo. Yeah.
Or like some like you'd like turn the entire phone, like go be like and like turn it around and be like camera. And I'm like, what the
fuck? Go.
Like some of these were interesting. They really now it's an iPhone, just everything is right there.
Now it's just screen. But you know what's funny is history repeats itself and they're making folding phones again. Which I still feel like it's a bad idea if you get one because I'm just thinking about it. You crease something so many times, even a screen, there's gonna be a line in that screen. I just know it.
One of my coworkers has like the one. It's not the one that like folds like a flip phone. It's like the double wide phone,
like the book. Yep.
Yeah, and I see it. I'm always like, that is interesting, but I no.
No, thank you. I will stick with the same phone, which I'm still figuring out.
Yeah, same. I mean, I have the older one. I'm still getting used to the fucking new plug. That's different.
Yeah.
But hey, at least we're in the modern era now.
Yeah, and you are using face what's it called? Face ID.
Face ID, which sometimes it just doesn't work, and I'm always like, yeah, and you have to enter your code anyways.
Well, maybe I was trying to trick you to see if you thought my screen froze. Did you think it froze for a second?
Well, it's been freezing periodically, so I've just kind of been going with it. But yeah, the Sims Urbz, same thing. This is such a weird footnote of a game.
I was trying to do it again. Did you fall for it?
No.
I feel also. I heard it. Wait, can you put on the water bottle music again, just so I can dance for a second?
That's all you get.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. So the Urbz.
The Urbz.
What a time.
What do you think? Like, do you think they should have made the second game, or do you think it's probably good they didn't continue?
Honestly, did it need a second game?
No, I don't think it did. I think it served its purpose.
Well, the problem was apparently it was supposed to be like the only console Sims, like the first console Sims game. And that was just, they were going to do console Sims games differently.
Oh, and just have them be kind of the Urbz franchise would be the
apparently something like that. But then they ended up in the time it took them to make the Urbz, they made like 2 other Sims games before it.
Yep.
Because a different studio made the Sims 1 console version. And then I forget who made Sims Bustin' Out, but that was also the console game that came before.
Oh, I forgot they had the console version.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the handheld games are its own thing. It's weird how the handheld Urbz game I think has more of an impact because it's just such a bizarre.
Well, it's tied to like the Sims Busting Out service story.
It is, but even the game itself is just really interesting when you look at it nowadays because it's like, why was this so deep?
Like, was this meant to be a Sims game?
I think it was. I think they literally realized we could never make a Sims game on Game Boy Advance and make it work well. So let's just do something fucking weird. And then they make this really unnecessarily deep story about a fucking rich billionaire. Play the Urbz Sims in the City. Watch our episode. Watch our very old episode talking about that game.
Oh yeah, that was like one of our first ones.
That was season 1.
Ew.
Yeah, that was season 1.
Yeah, so let me look at my.
Hey, I have the first 200 episodes on the wall now.
I don't have any on my wall.
Oh, there it is. Oh no! It was season 2.
Oh.
It was season 2.
So it was slightly better then. It wasn't as terrible.
Sure. But yeah, that's really about it for the Urbz.
Could you hear that?
I never heard that.
That was me making a weird noise, as I do. Plane! Do you hear that?
No.
You don't hear it?
I'm in my basement, ma'am.
I'm upstairs. I didn't think that through. How can you not hear it? It's loud.
Nope.
What the fuck? Anyways.
But yeah. So, anyways, guys.
Cheater banner.
I'm not even reading. Well, anyways.
Superpood Network. Superpood. Superpood.
Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the Gaming Collecting Podcast. You can find the Gaming Collecting Podcast on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Only available on Sketchy Web.
And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find a whole bunch of different shows, videos, podcast blogs. We're doing a series on classic PS1 games. We also did that. I mentioned at the top of the show, we did that Super Pod special where we talked about the Nintendo Switch 2 news. So yeah, check that out if you want. And yeah, once again, guys, thank you for joining. Oh, yeah, I should probably unmute. Never mind.
We're only available on sketchy websites. That's it. Nowhere else. Just the sketchy ones.
Well, Spotify's a little sketchy, so.
No, it's not. Spotify's great. I love it.
Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all later.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You won't see me later. I'm in your walls, Bill.